There's a phrase I said to myself way too many times in my life, which is, I'm fine. Not because I was actually fine, but because I refused to say I wasn't. Recently, I came across a video from Chase that explained something in a way that hit me really hard. He called it emotional debt. It explained a lot of my life better than I've ever been able to explain it myself. The way I understand emotional debt is this. Something happens in your life, it hurts you, it confuses you, it makes you angry, lonely, ashamed, or even afraid. Instead of processing it, you buried it. You say, I'm fine, it is what it is, just move on. Because you never really deal with it, it doesn't disappear. It stays in here. And over time, it starts charging interest. Not financially, but emotionally. It starts showing up in how you react, how you avoid, how you perform, how you seek validation. And that's the part that hits me the most. Because when I listened to Chase explain it, I realized that a lot of the things I thought were just my personality were probably just emotional debt. Like saying, this is just who I am. I'm just someone who overthinks. I'm just someone who needs to stay busy. And one line that really hits me was the idea that what we call our comfort zone is actually not comfort. It's a barrier built around emotional debt. Because there's so many things in life I thought were just not for me or outside my comfort zone. But maybe they were never a comfort zone problem. Maybe they're just debt protection problems. Maybe I was just protecting myself from feeling more rejections, more embarrassment, more loneliness, more judgment from others. And for me, a lot of this built up after moving to Canada. I didn't know how to express myself properly. I didn't know how to make friends naturally. I didn't know how to communicate the way I wanted to. So I started collecting debt, loneliness, confusion, wanting people to like me, wanting to fit in, trying to be accepted by others. And instead of actually processing that, I just keep going. I try to be strong, and that's another pattern that I want to call out. Trying to look strong in front of other people, when you actually know you're weak inside. It is a very clear sign that something is unresolved. Because not being strong, you're protecting yourself, you're trying to avoid more debt, more judgment, more pain, more feeling of not being enough. And I did that for years. And I think this is where a lot of people are stuck without realizing it. They think they're managing life really well, but really they're just making emotional interest payments. That's always explained a lot of what I saw in my mom before she passed away. She always wanted to go back to work and always wanted to stay occupied. Why? That's what emotional debt does. It doesn't just hurt you, it trains you to feel familiar around the same kind of pain. And I think this is one of the scariest parts. Sometimes you're not attracted to what is healthy. You're attracted to what is familiar. Pressure feels familiar. Criticism feels familiar. Trying to earn love feels familiar. So you just keep stepping into those same emotional environments again and again without realizing you're repeating debt, not living freely. And this is where running changed a lot for me. Not because running magically fixes the emotional debt, but because running became one of the first healthy places where I could stop making those interest payments through distractions. When I run, especially without music, without scrolling, without noise, I can't hide as easily. There's no pretending I'm busy, I'm performing for anybody, there's no fake urgency. It's just me, my body, my breathing, and whatever that's still sitting there. And yes, sometimes that sucks. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes I don't want to hear these thoughts. But I think that's exactly why it helped me. Because instead of running away from the debt, I started noticing it. And once you start noticing it, you can stop building your whole life around avoiding it. So the takeaway I want to leave with you and people watching this video is, life is always going to give you emotional impact. Things will go wrong, people will disappoint you, you'll feel behind, you'll feel rejected, you'll feel lost. That part is totally normal. The real question is, do you have a healthy way to process what life gives you? Because if you don't, it stays. And if it stays, it started shaping your identity, habits, your relationship, your stress, and that is super expensive. That's why I believe replacing unhealthy busyness with healthy habits is so important. Not because healthy habits make life perfect, but because they give you a better way to process what you're carrying. For me, running became one of those ways. It made me more vulnerable, more open, and able to sit with what I actually feel. And because of that, I think I've slowly been paying off the debt that I didn't even know I had. And I want to be very, very clear here. This framework of emotional debt is heavily inspired by Chase and the way he explains it. If you want a much more scientific and factual explanation of how emotional debt builds in nervous system and how it affects your behavior, I'm going to link his video in the description box below. He explains it incredibly clearly, and honestly, it was one of the most impactful explanations I've ever heard on this topic. So if your mind feels loud all the time, if you consistently need distractions, if you always need to be busy, need to be strong, maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're carrying a lot of emotional debt. And maybe the next step is not to keep outrunning it with distractions, and maybe the next step is to find a healthier way to finally face it. For me, one of those ways was running. This is Felix, just figuring things out one run at a time. I'll see you in the next one.